Ever start a task, check your phone, and suddenly 30 minutes are gone? If that feels familiar, you're not alone. But after years of battling this, I figured out 6 simple changes that completely transformed my focus. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do to reclaim your attention and actually finish what you start. You might think you just need more willpower to focus, but most people are sabotaging themselves before they even start. When I first tried improving my focus, I thought I needed more willpower. I sit down at my computer determined to work, only to find myself scrolling Instagram, checking text, or opening a dozen tabs just in case. Hours would disappear and I'd feel frustrated and guilty, like I was failing at something that should be simple. It wasn't a lack of discipline, it was my environment working against me. Once I removed the phone, closed unnecessary tabs, and committed to working from just one monitor, everything changed. Suddenly, I could actually get into flow and make real progress. Your environment can either steal your focus or amplify it. Small changes like removing distractions have an outsized impact on your ability to concentrate. Set up a workspace that minimizes interruptions. Put your phone out of reach or in another room. Work from a single monitor and close extra browser tabs that aren't essential for the task. Your brain is easily hijacked by novelty and notifications. Each distraction forces your mind to refocus, which breaks flow and wastes energy. Research in cognitive psychology shows that it can take up to 23 minutes to regain focus after a single interruption. So identify your top 3 distractions and remove them before starting work. Use one monitor and only keep tabs open that are necessary for the task. And set a distraction-free time block of 25 to 50 minutes, then take a short break. Now that your environment isn't working against you, there's still one mental habit that's quietly killing your attention. After I fixed my environment, I thought I was finally in control, but I kept jumping between tasks. I start writing an email, then I check a project document, then scroll through YouTube for research, thinking I was being productive. By the end of the day, I'd done a little bit of everything, but finished nothing. It felt exhausting and demoralizing. Once I committed to focusing on one task at a time, something clicked. I started finishing work faster with less stress and actually felt like I was making progress. Multitasking doesn't make you more productive, it fragments your attention and slows you down. Real focus comes from doing one thing at a time. Dedicate yourself fully to a single task until it's complete. Avoid switching between unrelated tasks or apps, and treat distractions like physical obstacles. Remove them or postpone them until later. Cognitive research shows that task switching reduces efficiency by up to 40%. Each time your brain switches focus, it incurs a switching cost that wastes energy and time. So choose the most important task first and commit to it fully before moving on. And keep unrelated ideas in a notebook or digital doc to deal with later. In my opinion, quick notes like this don't count as task switching because the key is to immediately return back to your main task. And give yourself permission to focus on just one thing and celebrate small completions to reinforce the habit. Even if you've cleared distractions and stopped multitasking, there's still a missing piece that determines whether you actually get results. Even after clearing distractions and committing to one task at a time, I still felt like I was spinning my wheels. I checked items off my to-do list, but at the end of the week, I couldn't see any real progress towards something meaningful. I knew I needed a clearer direction, but I wasn't sure what it looked like. Every task felt like it mattered in the moment, yet somehow I wasn't moving forward in a way that felt significant. I realized there was a missing piece that would finally give my focus real purpose. Focus without a clear goal is like driving without a destination. You'll spend energy moving, but go nowhere. Goals give your focus direction and meaning. I found that you just need to set 1 or 2 high priority goals that matter to you and make them specific and measurable. Then use them to guide your daily tasks and decisions. Your brain needs a target to aim at. Without it, attention drifts, motivation drops, and even productive work feels unsatisfying. Neuroscience shows that goal-oriented focus activates the brain's reward system, making progress feel meaningful and motivating. So write down your main goals for the week or month. Then break it into small, actionable tasks. At the start of each work session, ask yourself, does this move me closer to my goal? And adjust tasks if they don't align with your goal. That way, every bit of focus contributes to real progress. Here's a counterintuitive one. Some of the things you consume every day are silently draining your focus more than Netflix ever could. After getting clear on my goals, I thought I was finally in control of my focus, but I still felt mentally drained at the end of the day. I'd catch myself scrolling through news articles, checking Instagram, or watching educational YouTube videos, thinking it was helping me learn or stay informed. I realized even the things I thought were productive or harmless were quietly stealing my attention. My brain was overloaded with information, and it was impossible to focus fully on the tasks that really mattered. Consuming unnecessary information, even things that feel useful, can silently drain focus and energy. The less noise your brain has to process, the more attention you can give to meaningful work. So now I limit exposure to non-essential content, and I'm really intentional about what I consume. I try to only take in information that directly supports my goals or well-being. The way I think about it is I treat information like food. Too much leaves your mind bloated, and the right amount powers it. Cognitive science shows that our brains have a limited attention capacity. Constant consumption of trivial information fragments mental energy, reduces working memory, and makes it harder to sustain focus. So remove or block sources of information that drain your focus or stress you out. Schedule specific times for essential news or social media instead of constant scrolling. And the next time you consume something, ask yourself, does this move me closer to my goal, or is it just noise? Now, some people think you can survive on 5 to 6 hours of sleep and a coffee, but this one habit alone can make or break your focus. When I was in the military, my rule used to be, as long as I had 4 hours of sleep, I was good. I pushed through late nights, telling myself that getting more done now would pay off later. But the reality, my focus was terrible. Decisions were sloppy, and I felt mentally exhausted. I kept telling myself it was a lack of discipline, but no matter how hard I tried, nothing seemed to improve. Then I realized the truth. It wasn't discipline at all. It was sleep deprivation silently sabotaging my focus. Once I started prioritizing consistent quality sleep, everything changed. My energy, attention, and clarity skyrocketed, and I could sustain focus for much longer stretches. Sleep is the foundation of focus. Without enough restorative sleep, your brain can't consolidate memory, regulate attention, or sustain motivation. Even the best environment, single tasking, and goal setting won't matter if your mind is running on empty. So now I aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night, and I go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. And I try to do this as well on the weekends too. I now think of sleep as a non-negotiable part of my focus system, not an optional luxury. Cognitive science proves that insufficient sleep impairs working memory, decision-making, and attention. The brain uses sleep to recharge, consolidate learning, and clear mental clutter. Skipping sleep is like trying to drive a car with low fluid levels. You won't get far, and the engine won't run properly. So set a consistent bedtime and wake-up time that you stick to even on the weekends. Then create a pre-sleep routine that signals your body to wind down. No screens, dim lights, maybe light reading or journaling, and it can also be as simple as taking a shower before bed. And pay attention to how you feel each morning, and adjust your bedtime if needed. And finally, there's a step most people ignore, but it's what turns focus from a short-term trick into a lifelong advantage. Even with these better habits, I still felt mentally drained some days. I kept filling every free moment with work, side projects, or other productive tasks. I thought I was maximizing my time, but my focus and energy kept hitting a wall. It took a while before I realized what was missing. I wasn't giving my brain a chance to truly recharge. Once I started stepping away completely for short periods, whether that was walking, sitting quietly, or just doing nothing, the results were clear. My focus improved, my energy returned, and my creativity came back. Rest isn't wasted time. It's essential for sustained focus. And here's the important part. This is different from sleep. Sleep restores your body overnight, but unplugging during the day gives your mind short resets that keep your focus sharp in real time. So now I make sure to give myself intentional breaks away from work or screens. And I protect this downtime as part of my focus system. Your brain has a limited supply of energy for focus. Without short resets, it gets strained faster and your attention starts slipping, even if you've slept well. So schedule small pockets of downtime where you do nothing, literally. Step away from screens, go for a short walk, sit outside, or just let your mind wander. These mini breaks recharge your focus like plugging your phone into a charger throughout the day. By combining all 6 of these strategies, you're not just improving focus temporarily, you're building a system that lets you consistently finish what you start and reclaim control of your attention. But here's the truth. Knowing what to do is only half the battle. Actually taking action and sticking with it is where most people get stuck. That's exactly why I made this next video. So watch this video next, and I'll show you how to finally follow through. Keep learning, keep growing, keep going, and I'll see you in the next video.